All right, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to do this class here. So excited. I had to live stream this. This is a class that I've been wanting to do because so many people talk about the music business and wanting to use this, use business credit and business funding. And how do I get funding for music? I do music, I make songs, I sing, I rap, I dance, I do bachata. I get a lot of creative people that are like, I do music or I want to make movies. I'm an actress or I'm a director and I make these movies and I want to be able to use business credit and business funding. And I'm like, absolutely, you can. It's so funny because a lot of times what they do is they've come to me, Noel Randall, as a real estate investor. So, big secret, most of your music projects and your movies are funded by a lot of real estate investors. Real estate investors, we are notorious for investing in music and investing in movies. I think it's part of the risk that we take. We're these like risk taker type people. We flip houses, we do apartment buildings, so we attract a lot of creative people to us, and we get a lot of opportunities where people want to sing, dance, rap, whatever, hip hop, whatever you call it, whatever genre of music, lots of genre of music. So I literally started a music group, a music label, and was managing some talent and really enjoying being able to turn their passions into money. Because a lot of times when it comes to the music business and movies, people don't want to invest in them because they're very risky. They could lose money. And a lot of times people want to do them themselves, but they don't want to save their way to being able to have a music career, or they don't want to save their way into putting out a movie. And you can get business credit and business funding to do these. And I'm going to show you and share with you my real journey on how I did that. I'm going to share with you kind of my journey, but more so what's available to you now. Okay, because a lot of times what I did before, there's even more opportunities now than before. And I want you to know that. So, welcome, welcome. So happy to have here. Make sure you go ahead and like this because you guys have begged me of so many people. Not only do they do things like nursing and doctor and this, that, and the other, engineers and all these more boring type of careers. We all have these projects that we want to do music, movies, and some fun stuff that may not seem like businesses, but make a ton of money. They really do. They're risky, but when they make money, they make a lot of money. So let's go ahead and thumbs it up. Come on, if you're in here, I got over 50 people in here. Go ahead and thumbs up this. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. So I have a whole presentation um, that I came up with, you guys, that I want to share with you all browsers, and really let's lock into this because I'm really going to teach you guys a lot of things about how to use the business credit and the business funding for for music and movies, so you can have your passions and stuff that I do as well, and you can make a lot of money, or even take profits that you have from another business, get more funding for that business, and use it to fund some of your passion projects like your music or movies, different shows that you might want to put out. I want you to do that. So, all right, go ahead and make sure you're taking notes. Make sure you're being focused. I want you to be present. I want you guys to pay attention, eliminate distractions, close your browser, and hold your questions to the end. So all of my members, you guys can type to me up, but I'm looking at the presentation, so I can't even see what you're typing. We're going to save the questions to the end. I'm going to go through this as fast as possible. I'm going to give you as much information as possible, and you take notes, and then you can ask me questions. All right? Okay. All right. So let me just really share with you like how you use business credit for um, music, how you use it for movies, how you use it to fund other projects that are a little bit more risky so that you don't have to use your own money. That's my goal. I want you to think that this is the best class that you ever had. And if you stay to the end, like I said, I'm going to answer questions for you. So I want you to know that this is very different. I usually am talking about straight real estate. I'm usually talking about business credit and business funding. But I want you to know that this is different because I'm taking this to another level and showing you what's really possible. How not only you can get business credit and business funding, how to do that, but how more so to also get this so that you can do tax write-offs, tax deductions, all of those things that are available to you, because a lot of people just don't know that all of this is available for them. So you guys know that I am Noelle Randall. You guys know that I'm a multimillionaire real estate entrepreneur. So I love real estate, love flipping houses, love having rental properties, and that is how I actually got rich. However, I did go to school and have lots of educations. I have 3 degrees, and I've negotiated so many real estate deals. Though I use my education, I use my real life experience to be able to teach you guys this. Like I said, I have over 1 million subscribers and followers over all of my platforms. I'm always teaching, always trying to pour into you guys, make sure that you guys are being successful as well. I have 4 Amazon best-selling books that I absolutely am so proud of, and I have been featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur, Success magazines, and I am a proud mother of 7, 5 that I gave birth to, but 7 in total. So that is me. So let me talk about just some deals that I did using like business credit and some of the things. So one of the things that I did was flipping houses. And so in Dallas, I had a business partner, and that's really when I started getting into using business credit and business funding to fund projects. I was brought into these flips that we had where the project did not have enough money, but I had a business line of credit, so I was able to be a partner on some of these flips and just get money without even having to do anything, just put some of my money into it. But again, it was not money that I saved. It was not money that I had, worked really hard for. It was money from a business line of credit. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can use these business lines of credit to fund all different types of projects where you can make a lot of money. Like I said, mine was real estate, doing different projects, even having 2 and 3 flips going on at one time. This is something that I was able to do because I had all of these business lines of credit, and I can just jump into deals, and I was able to turn a lot of profit. So I have done a lot of things right. But in the beginning, I only knew about hard money loans. I didn't know about business lines of credit and business credit cards and business loans and Home Depot commercial credit cards and all of these different business credit avenues that I had all of these funds to. So I started off doing it wrong. I literally did a lot of things wrong because I did not know that I could have access by creating a business and then accessing business credit. I didn't realize how much of funds I had access to. So in the beginning, I really did rely on my own credit and my own money. And you don't have to do that. You literally can build wealth and get assets using business credit and business funding and putting it in your business's name so that it unlocks all of these different benefits where you're limiting your risk, you're lowering your exposure. These things are not reporting on your personal credit report. Like I did all of those things wrong in the beginning. And so now I want to teach you guys how to do this the right way. Because after doing this now for the past 5 years, the correct way, I've learned the easiest ways to build business credit. I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to share with you the fastest route to millionaire. I'm going to share with you guys some easy automations that you can do to build business credit and get business funding and find opportunities and how to even make more money on deals. And for me, my goal for most of you guys, I quit my job with real estate, and I would want you guys to be able to quit your jobs and work in the thing that you want to. You don't have to spend your life doing something you don't want to for money. You can make a lot of money doing the things that you love. So I discovered this the hard way, but you're going to get to cheat and do it the easier way. So the hard way was me finding awful properties, me overpaying, and never actually investing. But I'm going to give you guys the easy way that made me a multimillionaire. Okay. In the past 15 years, I've negotiated over 200 deals, and I did not have to work 40 hours a week. But I do want you to know that my results are not typical. Okay. There are people that don't always get the same results because they may not necessarily do the exact same thing. So I really want to give you that disclaimer that I'm teaching you this, but know that every single person, they're not going to do it, and so you're going to get different results. However, I do think that you can be very successful doing the things that I'm going to teach you, and that would be my goal, because most people just don't do things that they know how to do. It's like sometimes we learn things, but we never actually take action on it. So Noel, Randall wants you to take action. It's going to be really, really important that you take action, because there are so many things that you could do to make a lot of money. Okay. Tons of different things. All right. All right. Okay. So let's keep going. All right. I just want you guys to know though, but know that there's a lot that you could do. Okay. There is a lot. So I'm going to teach you these 3 secrets. I'm going to teach you why good credit. So I'm going to go through this quickly. I'm going to teach you why bad credit is a good thing. I'm going to teach you how to turn your credit into money. And I'm going to show how you can become a millionaire helping people, even with your music and your movies and different things like that. You really are going to be an asset to a lot of people with what I'm teaching you. So first thing secret that I learned, and I want you to know, is that bad credit is a good thing. I was able to learn all of these things with finding people that were behind on their mortgage. And I was able to even get a house that I lived in this way just by finding people on Craigslist, putting out signs like, those We Buy Houses signs, and going on Craigslist and finding people that were selling the houses themselves and spending a lot of money on marketing. I was able to find people that were behind on their mortgage payments and take over their mortgage payments and get those properties in my name. And I do that to this day. So it was kind of really easy for me to find people with bad credit. And then what I also realized is that banks don't care who pays the mortgage. So if I was able to catch those payments up and take over these mortgage payments, the bank never really even cared about who was living in the house and different things like that. And I was realizing too that people that were behind on their payments, when I would catch those mortgage payments up, I would help them fix their credit. So it really was like, wow, people having bad credit really was a good thing for me. I was able to make a lot of money by finding these people that had these bad credit scores because their credit score had dropped so much because they got behind on their mortgage payment. And I was able to turn those into properties and deals for myself. But more importantly, I was able to grow this with business credit. And I'll share that with you. So, how you can easily turn credit into money. So one of the things when you look for people that are behind on their mortgage payment and you're going to take over these payments, I know the first question that you're up here asking, well, then how am I going to catch up their mortgage payments, Noel? Where am I going to get the money for that? And this is when I realized I could turn my good credit into money. I could literally turn this into cash where I could use it to buy assets. So, like I said, I realized there is all of this funding, way more funding out there for businesses, way more so, more funding than there is for consumers. Like if you just walk into a bank and you ask them for a personal loan, they may give you $20,000 or $30,000. But if you walk in there as a business, they give you $50,000 and $100,000. Again, same credit, same everything. They just have more funding for businesses, and they have found that to be less risky than just lending to people and consumers. So I found, and here's an article that shows right here that the SBA providing tens of billions of funding every single year. Okay, doesn't change when the president changes. This is always money. The whole United States government is really built around businesses. So they have all of this business funding available for those who can just walk into the bank as a business. And again, it is very, very simple to do these things. I'm going to share with that to you. But let me give you some math on how I was able to turn this into a lot of money, like I said. So the example that I would give you is the borrower is past due 3 months on their mortgage payments. Okay. And let's just assume that the mortgage payments are $1,600. Okay. And let's assume they owe $180,000 on the mortgage at a 4.5 interest rate. I see these scenarios all the time. Okay. People that are literally about to go into foreclosure, this is their situation. Then I look up the value of their house and I see that it's worth $280,000. So that last there, look at that last question. Would you spend $10,000 to get $100,000? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. And that's the question that I started asking myself. And that's how I built all of this wealth and was able to invest in music and movies and all this stuff that I'm going to teach you about. I started realizing that a true investor really just traded in a small amount of money for a larger amount. Okay. So you have to ask yourself that question. Would you trade $10,000 for $100,000? What is your answer? Well, I learned from a very successful mentor, and I think you should learn the same answer, that the answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely, you should trade $10,000 for $100,000. That is what investing is. You're taking a smaller amount of money to invest, and you're expecting a larger amount. So I want you to answer real quick in the chat. Just say, would you do it? Would you trade $10,000 for $100,000? Would you do that? Go ahead and put that in the chat. All right. Okay. I love that. Of course, Dwayne says yes. All right. So other people have to understand that this is really, really smart. So let me tell you, though, how you can become a millionaire helping other people. Okay. You don't have to be a greedy person. You don't have to be a shark person. You can really be a loving person, help other people, and become a millionaire in the process. So I literally have gone through foreclosure. Okay. And this is how I know I was helping people, because I literally was going through foreclosure, was behind on my payments, got kicked out of the house. Sheriff comes, takes all of the stuff, and I end up here in my parents' basement. And this is where I lived for an entire year, was in my parents' basement, because I know that's what happens when you go through foreclosure. The sheriff throws you out. Your credit is bad even when your payments are bad, when your payments are behind. So as soon as I got behind on my mortgage payments, my credit score went down. So I know that that happens to other people when they get behind on their mortgage payments. Okay. Your credit is terrible once it hits your credit report. Okay. Foreclosure reports on your credit report for 10 years. It is in public record for 10 years. Okay. And you're not able to buy another house for at least 4 years in most cases. So what I realized really soon in this was that when I found people that were behind on their mortgage payments, and I said I could catch your mortgage payments up, I realized how much I was helping them. And I really was like a hero to people because I was helping them fix their credit. I was helping them catch up on those payments. I was helping, get them out of that situation without them going into foreclosure and that embarrassing situation. So here's the formula. Okay, just breaking this down really quickly for you. Step one, you're going to market to property problems. That's what I did. I just started sending out letters and flyers. All right, then I did my top system, which is taking over payment system. All right, where I would offer to them, hey, we could buy the house or we could take over the payments and then we can give you X, Y, and Z right now. So it was this really savvy way that I learned to get them to do basically subject twos where I would take over their mortgage payments. And then I would just repeat this. And I just was able to gather a whole portfolio of real estate just by marketing, again, by sending letters and flyers and putting out signs to people that were having property problems, people that were behind on mortgage payments or in divorce or in foreclosure. Okay. Here is the bonus. Like I said, here's the big surprise. That's what Noel Randall did to get rich. But here's what am I teaching you today? I'm teaching you how to use business credit for music and movies. I haven't forgotten what you're here for. And so the big bonus and the big secret is all of that stuff that I learned about how to get these business lines of credit, how to get these business credit cards, how to get these business loans. Once you get the money, you can do what you want with it. You can invest in music projects. You can use that for studio time. You can use that to market your album. That you could use that to book shows. There's so much you can do with it because it does still serve a business purpose. You could use it to fund your movies. I've literally invested in movies. You guys see back there, literally where it says I've been an executive producer. I executive produce on projects because basically executive producer means I put the money up. Okay, or I'm one of the people that puts the money up. That's what executive producing really is. It's the person that is funding the project, funding the TV show, funding the movie, funding the music album. All right. So that was like amazing when I learned that. Okay. That it was like, wow, my mind was blown. I literally started teaching this to other people, okay? People that had the interest in being in music, had the interest in being in movies, because there's so much you can do with your business funding. And I'm going to break some of that down for you because it's so many different areas. All right. So let me stop the share for just a second. Let me stop the share for a second. So I know you're thinking, wait a minute. Okay. I see how you could use it to catch up people's mortgage payments and get the houses and all of this other stuff and get wealthy like that. But how am I using this money to direct a movie? Like what? Well, if you don't know how to direct a movie, well, guess what? You can take a business line of credit and start going to classes, going to seminars, going to different directors and learning from them and actually using that money for conferences, for classes, for networking events. Like you could literally use your business credit and business funding to learn how to make money with your thing. But let me tell you clearly, I have a music label. And I'm going to show you and share my screen with you really quickly and just share with you the website. Because I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I did with business credit and business funding that you can do too. Because again, I want you to do these things. I want you to live the fullest life. Noel Randall is always going to tell you you can have anything, be anything, and do anything that you want. So this is my music label, Scotto Music. Okay. And one of the things with music is a lot of people just think that it's all about getting famous. Okay. So, for example, especially when it comes to music, all right, let me be clear. People think fame. If I want to make a lot of money with music as a musician, I need to be famous. But that's not where most of the money is made. And as someone that is an entrepreneur, Noel Randall, I'm going to teach anybody on my music label about how to make money. Okay. So it may be cases where you're not very famous, but you make a lot of money. We sell the songs that you write. We do reference tracks. We put them in movies. We do syndications. Maybe your songs are used for ads. We do them for commercials. We get some pretty big endorsements from not famous people because we do it as marketing. We put the songs under it and market. Okay. We've done really big brand partnerships without even the artist being very famous. Because again, there's a difference between rich and famous. And if we're talking about making money with music or making money with your movie, maybe it's not that big. Maybe it is not or big here in America. It could be very big in another country. So if you could open up your mind, You can make a lot of money with music and movies, but you have to have usually funding to put the project together. And so, as an executive producer, I don't care about fame. So, if someone comes to my label, I care with, and I'm going to use my business credit and my funding. We're going to do what we can to make money. If selling a song is the best way to make money, that's what we're doing. If we're putting it in an ad, if we're putting it in a commercial, if we are putting it on a movie, on a soundtrack, and it could even be, forgive me, it could be an independent movie, like a movie that's going to be on Tubi or a movie that's going to be just on Amazon. I have sold songs and made lots of money. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys and say I've made millions of dollars with music. I haven't, but I have made tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. Okay, if you add it up, I have. But I also, it's not my primary thing. It's almost something like I do for fun because I have extra money. But if you, and that's what you do, and your passion is music or movies, literally getting business credit will give you the funding, okay, to actually make money with it. But you have to be business minded and funding wise. If I'm borrowing money or using a business line of credit, please make sure you're using it on a project that you think is going to make money, not just to be famous. Okay. So it's not about famous. It's about making money. All right. So let me see those likes up. I got to get my likes up. Come on. There's over 65 of you in here. I need some more likes. All right. Go ahead and get those likes up right now. All right. Let me keep going because, like I said, there are so many different things. So that's one area of ways you can use money. Um, but the money to make money with music, for example, for movies, for example. But you can actually make a movie. In most cases, it's very easy with business credit to walk into a bank and walk out with $50,000 in your business's name. That's actually a very, very easy thing to do. You have a certain credit score, got a couple of credit cards, they will do it. Okay. And I've given you guys the banks, and we'll talk about that even more because there's even more lenders that will do that now with no income verification, no tax returns. They don't care about necessarily your revenue. They let you do projected income. They actually allow these things because they want you to use the money and invest it in your business, right? And your business could be music or movies. It doesn't have to be real estate. Now, what I opened up my mind to realize with the real estate is that I could use the money, my business credit, my business funding to catch up mortgage payments. I could use it to fix up the house. I could use it for renovations. I could use it to paint, to do the walls, to redo the kitchen. I could use it for appraisals. I could use it for inspections. I could use the money for earnest money. All right. There were so many things that I could do in the real estate space with my business funding. Those things exist in music and in movies. You could use it to hire your actresses, to write your scripts, to pay for your editors, to pay for locations. We've shot movies in Airbnbs. Literally, my properties have been used to shoot movies and music videos and things like that. All right. And you would need money to rent a place. All right. Think about that. Well, this is what business credit is for. And this is what a ton of musicians have been doing. Big names that you can't even think about, like, have been funded. Big groups I can think of, like Migos, for example. I know for a fact they use a business line of credit. Okay, for some of that big early money. So think about these things. That's where the money is coming from, but you have to actually set up a real business. This can't be just your idea. You literally have to go to the Secretary of State and register an LLC, get an EIN, and then fix your personal credit. Basically, if you need help with this, you want to take a fast route to this, reach out to my friends at Justin Merch Consultant. Okay, I'll put a link in the box right here. Let them know Noelle Randall sent you. They'll give you a free consultation. See if they can help you build business credit quickly. If you want to, and you can cut the line. Basically, they will help and do a lot of the stuff for you. They are amazing. Or you could do it yourself. This is not difficult to do. So go to Dun and Bradstreet and claim your number and claim your business and start building a few trade lines through Uline and Quill and Granger. And then if you have good personal credit, opening up a business checking account with Bank of America or Chase or Wells Fargo, and then them giving you a business credit card or a business loan right there on the spot. These are all the things that you can do really easily. All right, so let me go back to my presentation. Let me finish sharing this with you guys. All right. Because there's a lot that I want you to know that you can do. All right. And make sure you go ahead, and I'm live right now. Go ahead and thumbs this up. If you're watching, go ahead and thumbs this up. And go ahead. Don't forget to let people know right now, hey, Noelle Randall is live. All right. And she is teaching. Okay. All right. So like I said, I've done this. This is not something I'm telling you, wow, maybe. No, definitely you can do this because I have. All right. I showed you my music label. I'm telling you for a fact, you can look me up. I've been the executive director on quite a bit of things, different movies. A lot of it I've signed NDA, so I'm not going to get into it, but I really am going to start taking more of a lead role. The thing that you need to kind of think about for yourself is what disposable income do you currently have? Okay. We all have extra money. We do. Even if you are down in the dumps, you have some money that you have for food, DoorDash, getting your hair cut, nails, whatever you do. And you got to start thinking about what you're doing with that disposable income. Okay. So let's talk about that for a second. So I've gone through this. And like I said, would you agree that it's been really good time that we spent here? Obviously I couldn't cover everything, but I have some special deals that I kind of want to give to you because I really want you to know that there is a lot that you can do with once you learn this. Someone taught me this in 2009, and I still use a lot of this information today in 2025. And it keeps growing, especially as I do it. I get more and more information that I'm able to share with you guys. But the problem is old habits die hard. We just get used to being in our ways, being on our phones, doom scrolling, not really being in action. Okay. And there's some of you that I really want you to take action. Okay. So I'm going to have a really, really easy way for you to take action on how to launch all of this, how to get business credit, how to do business funding. And that's an event that I'm having, a virtual event where you don't even have to leave your house. You can do it right from your computer. This is the absolute last one of the year. I absolutely cannot do another one of these because they are all day and I bring a lot of people in, but I really teach you all day long. It's an all day event, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you can get your tickets. And I have an amazing code that you can use to save 50%. Just use code EARLY, EARLY, early 50. Okay, early 50 to save 50%. And you go to growyourwealthbootcamp.com. All right. And so usually tickets are $297, but right now they're $97. And if you use the code, they're 50% off of that. All right. So this is not something that you are going to see again. You'll just go to growyourwealthbootcamp.com. You'll get access to the Grow Your Wealth Bootcamp, and you'll even get access to the replay. So even if you have to miss it that day, you can watch the replay. But you don't want to miss it because we have prizes, we have giveaways, we have scholarships, and you don't want to miss it because you need to be online in order to win. You have to be at the event. It is a live stream. So, or you can go VIP where you get access to a private community and you get a 1-hour Q&A session with me. Okay, it's exclusive. Only the VIPs get it. And then if you do it now while supplies last, we will send you my ebook, Making It and Pick a Horse. Okay, my latest book, Making It, is this amazing book that I wrote with 9 other people. And we tell some real true stories of how we made it. Everybody thinks it's made it, but no, it's definitely making it. And so this is true stories of how you make it. You will get access to that ebook absolutely free if you take VIP. Okay. And again, you use code EARLY 50 to save 50% off tickets. All right. And then you'll even get my quick start art real estate investing course. All right. So again, that's growyourwealthbootcamp.com. Use code EARLY 50. But who is the class for? So you've been here wondering about how do I get business credit for music and movies and all of these different things. And I'm showing you all of the things that I have done and the way that I became a multimillionaire with this. But if you're a working person and you really want to make some extra money, if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're unemployed, this is definitely for you. You got to start learning, taking action, showing up to classes. That's how I got myself out of my parents' basement and why I'm a multimillionaire today is because I definitely started going to classes and seminars and investing in myself and learning how to do all of these things. And so I want you to do that too, especially if you're a professional and definitely for my side hustlers, my people that keep a side hustle. Noelle Randall used to keep a side hustle. Now I turn my side hustle into my full-time business. And that's what I want you to do because you can. Right. Oops. All right. So, like I said, I could have just made this as cheap as possible, but I really want you to stay here all day with me. All right. Stay there all day with me. So if you give me an entire day, I really could go into a depth more instead of this being like a quick live stream on YouTube. Obviously, this is off of the YouTube platform at the Grow Your Wealth Bootcamp. So I can really say things. I can really go there. I can really can ask your questions. It is just an amazing experience. And it's the last one of 2025. There will be no more. So you want to take me up on this offer on this live stream. You really want to go ahead and do this. Go to growyourwealthbootcamp.com and use code EARLY50 to save 50%. All right. So you will just go to growyourwealthbootcamp.com and secure your ticket. And you want to do that now because, again, space is limited. And once we are sold out, there's no more space. We can't fit any more people. Just and then you'd have to wait if we even do one in 2026. So make sure you come to the Grow Your Wealth Bootcamp so you can learn in detail how to get this business credit going, how to build those trade lines, and all of the different opportunities that you have to make a lot of money with business credit, how to turn someone else's money that a bank gave you, okay, in your business's name, how to turn that into an income generating asset. People have sold their movies and their millions of dollars, and I want you to do the same thing. This does not have to be some small thing. I have had people sell a song $80,000 check, okay, sell a song, one song, $80,000 check. So I want you to do that too. Thank you so much, Derek Cross, for the super $1.99. Really, really appreciate that. Like I said, I started off thinking about, and learning about real estate. And then I learned about the business credit. And then I realized all of the things that you really could do with business credit. And I started really, because I was making money in the real estate, I started risking some of that money. But the truth of the matter is, you don't have to even risk your profits from your real estate to invest in music and movies. You literally can go get a $50,000, walk into a bank, walk out with $50,000 and have the entire funding for your music project or your movie. I have seen entire movies made for $50,000. Okay, now I'm not saying I say they blockbuster, feature film type movies, but documentaries for sure. And I have seen and made and been a part of some Tubi movies that have been made for less than $50,000. So I want to be really clear that you can do that. And remember, that's just royalties that you get. Royalties coming in. Once you sell a song, obviously you took your money right then and there, but a lot of these other projects, that's recurring income for you. And I want you to realize that this is available to you. This is not some pie in the sky thing that only a few people get to do. You can make lots of money with music and movies. You can do real estate starting from nothing, starting from your parents' basement, broke, bankrupt, bad credit, no money, and then turn that into millions. And then invest that into the things that you love. And it's still bringing you money every single month. That's the life that I created for myself. And that's the life that I would want you to create for yourself. And there's a ton of banks and lenders that want to lend you the money for your business ventures. You just have to know how to show up. So this is amazing. Come to the Grow Your Wealth Bootcamp. Use code EARLY50 to save 50% off tickets so I can teach you all of this and more. Make sure you go ahead and like this. Make sure you share this with any of the people that you know. We meet a lot, especially when it comes to music. I meet a lot of musicians that don't think that they can make money with their music. And what they're focused on is fame. They're not realizing there's so many avenues to riches, okay? And if you are willing to take money for your music, you actually can make a lot of money with your music. The same thing with being an actor or an actress or making movies and putting on TV shows. I've been involved in a lot of great projects where they have made a lot of money and a big splash, but not necessarily got them a lot of fame in the United States, okay? So growyourwealthbootcamp.com. Go right now. Use code EARLY50. Tickets are going to sell out quickly because this is the last and final one. And I will delve into teaching you how to get business credit, business funding, and really going into detail on how you'll do it and how you'll create these income generating assets for yourself so that you don't have to work. Or if you do work, it's because you want to. That's the life that I want for you. Like I said, I just want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the resources, and all of the tools that you need to be successful. This is Noelle Randall. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you at the boot camp. To your success.